Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. Don't mind the mess, I just got the International Tractor done and knocked out. Video coming soon, so that's part of the mess in here. But I literally just drove it out. But I wanted to make a video. I have had a lot of interest and a lot of people wanting to know how the titanium 225 welders did it. And I've got two others here. And they just happen to be all green, but I wanted to give an update on this. This is May of 2022, and I bought it. The video went up December of 2020, so it's been roughly a year and a half. We'll just call it a 2-year review when I post the video, but it's been a year and a half. It's within a couple days when you get on the actual dates of the months. But anyways, I wanted to cover this. And I also wanted to cover the Flux 125 welder. And this is the little reboot welder I did a video on. And just kind of go over all three of these. And in case you're looking for a welder and wondering which path to take. So I'll kind of cover some basics and go over it and go over this. So I will grab the camera and point and kind of go over some of it. So hang on. I'll grab the camera. It'll take just a minute and we'll do a little talk and hopefully get some questions answered. Okay, moving my bucket here. So anyways, this is my titanium stick 225. People are wanting to know about it, if I like it. Yes, I love it. It is a very good welder. I absolutely love it, and I know someone's going to get on here and whine and rant. Oh, you need an old Lincoln that's got the old clicker, you know, 1920s technology. They work. I started with one, but I'll never go back to it. And I'm not saying buy a titanium, but definitely buy an inverter welder. These things, all these welders I'm getting ready to cover are inverter technology, and when you go from the old cracker box Lincolns to one of these, there is no comparison. And they're good welders, don't get me wrong. I started on one, I welded with them for years. Hopefully, let me get out of there, hopefully that sun ain't blinding you out there. But I welded with these for years, these old Lincolns, and then I upgraded and I bought these. But these inverters, which they are DC inverter welders, where the old Lincolns are AC transformer style, and it is night and day. These things weld, I mean, just smooth as glass. I mean, you can get by with the old welder. If you can find one cheap at a yard sale for 50 bucks and you're wanting to start, absolutely grab it up if it's working. I mean, it'll get the job done. But after running that and going to these things are so smooth, and they're so cheap anymore. These are a lot less than a Lincoln or any of the transformer style welders. I mean, they're like half the price, sometimes a third, and they're awesome welders. I mean, just smooth. But this titanium right here, I don't use this all the time, for the simple fact it is stick, which is not a big deal. The only time I really use this stick 225 welder is when I'm welding, I mean heavy 1/2 inch and up plate. I turn it up high, I turn it up hot, and I get the penetration. And I absolutely hate doing overhead with stick. It's a pain, I hate it. And most of my welding, I do with this Flux 125 in here. I do 90% of my welding with that. That is an incredible welder. It's a flux core only. Like it says, 125 amp max. And this thing, I know someone's going to ask about this too, not to get off, but this don't work. And yes, I took this off, so I didn't short it to itself. But see that? It don't latch. I put the handle on hoping I could just pick it up like that, but the little old cheesy latch don't latch hard enough in there. So, but it is a good welder. But I do 90% of my welding with this flux core. I have burned a hole through 1/4 inch plate with this hot, turning it up, and it will do it. And it welds just as smooth as it can, and you don't have to deal with gas. you know, you don't have to go buy an argon bottle and a regulator and all that. You can just pick up the wire and go to town. So if you're looking for an entry-level welder and you're just going to do little hobby projects around a little tinker shop and little stuff, you know, with the house, I'd highly recommend this one instead of that stick 225, because I don't use it enough. But when I need it, I need it. Because like I said, when I break that out, I'm burning through, I mean, plate. I want the penetration, and I can't get the penetration for that big plate with that I can get with that. But if you're welding like 1/4 inch and down, this welder's incredible. I have never hit the overload. I burn it and just run it ragged, and I've never tripped it. I mean, it's got a light duty cycle. It's like 20 or 30% or something. It's not much, but I've never tripped it, and I've run it hard. And it's been here at least a year. I bought it a few months after I bought this. They had a sale on these, and it was an incredible deal on that. I can't even remember what it was. I want to say like $150. No, 140. It was like $139.99 or something. And I picked that up because I like the overhead. Like I said, I hate doing it with stick. And most of your stuff's not that thick that you're going to weld. 1/4 inch and down is plenty. But the thing with a stick versus a MIG, and someone's probably going to give me flack, but it's the truth, don't care, I've welded enough. When you go and put a stick up there, you can kind of shove it, but it's still gravity. It blobs down, and you can feed it different ways and make it better, but it's still going to do it. Versus a MIG that actually has a motor pushing and shoving that wire in when you're overhead. It's a lifesaver. And I like messing with it because you're not constantly pulling rods out of your pocket or got the box up there or whatever. You put the wire in and you go to town. When the spool's empty, you change it. And it takes a long time to go through that little, it's either a 1 or a 2 pound spool that goes in this. I think it's a 1 pound, might be 2, but it ain't the 10, but it takes a long time to go through it. And if you're just, like I said, let's switch arms here. But if you're just starting out and you just want a little welder for doing little stuff around the, the place, like, weld your motor deck if it breaks, or build little brackets or something. I build tons of stuff out of bed rails. They're free, they're everywhere. Cut them, use them, weld them. This thing is perfect and it's cheap. So if you're just a little wanting to start out, you want a welder, you don't know what you want, you're kind of looking to, just try it, but you don't know what to get, I'd highly recommend this Flux 125. It's a great welder, and this stick 225 is too when you need it, but you don't need it all the time. Like I said, I only use that for about 10% of my welding. When I get into that heavy plates, when I break this out, but it does weld good. It welds incredible. If you're a die-hard stick guy and don't want to weld a MIG, get the 225. It'll do all you want. And this little reboot's a good little welder too. I know someone's going to ask because it's been on the channel, but I haven't really used it as much as I have this because it's a smaller welder. What is this? I think it's about like a 140 amp or something. It's not real big, but it does weld. It welds smooth, welds good. Every one of these are inverter. They're all good. I like them. They all have their purpose. And I can't bash any of them or say nothing bad about any of them. They weld good. And, on a farm, every once in a while you get in some big stuff and you got to have this. There's no way around it. This won't do everything. But it'll do, like I said, I do 90% of my welding with this Flux 125, so I'd recommend it too. If you're just a hobby guy and you're wanting to start out, you don't know where to begin, this is perfect because you don't have to buy MIGs better than a stick on just basic welding. I love it. And I do recommend everybody, this is kind of going to contradict here, but to me, if you're going to start welding, which I know everybody's on a budget, so just go for that, but you really need to, if you can get access to a stick welder, weld with a stick before you weld with a MIG, because MIG welds so much smoother than stick, it'll ruin you and you won't want to mess with it. But you need to learn that. That's a skill. And when it comes to heavy plate, I mean the heavy stuff, there's no exception for a stick. There's no substitute. You got to have it for that thick plate. I mean, a MIG just won't do it. Give me if I'm sweating, it's hot. So if you need something for big plate every now and then, or you just diehard stick fan, absolutely, if you're thinking about this, buy it. This is a good welder. It has served me well. I have used it a lot, and it's worked great. It welds smooth. It's very adjustable. I like it. It's 110 or 220. Obviously, it does better on 220. The reboot's the same way. It's 110 or 220, and it's a stick. And this is 110 only on the titanium Flux 125. So, you know, which is also handy because I use this a lot, taking this to other places or like friends' houses or something if they got something broke or just need a little something, you know, help a buddy out or take it to work or do whatever, anything. I mean, it's just handy. You pick it up, it's light, it only weighs like 15 pounds or 12 pounds or something. And you take it with you and plug it into any 110 outlet and it burns hot. It welds. And like I said, everything I do in here, subscribers been with me, have seen a lot over the years. I do 90% of my welding with this Flux 125. I never break this big 225 stick out until I get into big plate. So I hope this helps. This is just kind of an overview, but if you're a beginner, you've never welded, you're on a budget, and you want to just have something to do little stuff with, go buy this. Buy this 125. Absolutely, hands down, great welder. But if you need something for big plate and you want a little stick welder, get this. You know, Harbor Freight's got these. They got good warranties. They're good welders. And if you're looking at other stuff online, I know there's a lot of bargain welders, and they're great. I'm sure a lot of these come out of the same warehouse with a different badge on them. I mean, it's China. One person makes it, everybody copies it. So it's just a matter of paint and name. But, you know, if you're looking at any of them online, and there's a lot of good ones, make sure you get the inverter welder, which most of them have gone to that anymore, but there's still a few of the old transformers left. And as a matter of fact, Harbor Freight's got one too, that little black Chicago electric welder. Do not buy that one. Absolutely skip it. I don't care how cheap it is. Go over it. Don't mess with that. That's a pile of junk. I've run them. I hate them. And they're not as adjustable. This one you can adjust the wire speed in the heat, which is great. I hate a one knob, which is what that Chicago electric is. And it's got high and low in wire speed. This is an infinite adjustment. Spend the extra $50. You won't regret it. I promise you, you won't regret it. Just don't even think of that piece of junk. Get this. And like I said, if you're going to buy something else online, just make sure that it is an inverter welder. I mean, there's no comparison. After running the old school stuff and running this, these weld just as, I mean, it's there until you run them, you don't know. They're just so much better. They really are. And like I said, I know the die-hard welding guys that do it for a living are going to bash me. Oh my God, you can't run that. It's not name brand. It don't cost 5 times the amount. Well, I've done stuff in here for years. Trust me. None of it's broke. It's all held and it's welded, and these are good welders. You know, not everybody's out to doing it for a living or got to have name brand. I don't care. If it works, it performs, it does its job, it's a good welder. Period. I don't care. So just, like I said, if you're in the beginning, Flux 125, awesome welder. And the Stick 225, I will give it a thumbs up. It's been a year and a half. It's awesome. It works great. It welds hot. It will do anything you want. Preferably on 220 or 230, 40, whatever. What you want to call it, but call it 220 around here. But get that set up on the higher voltage and it'll weld anything you want. So I'm going to cut this video off. I hope this helped, and hopefully this will help you guys make a decision. And I know people have been wanting to know how this has worked out, but I wanted to run it a while before I knew. And it's never quit me. It's never failed me. It just works. So's the Flux 125, and the reboot's still working. I just don't use it as much. Like I said, 90% of everything I do in here is on that Flux 125. So, I mean, building a wood splitter back there right now, and I'm putting it together. Every piece of this has been welded. Like I said, don't mind the mess. I just drove another project out of here. But I mean, all this, it's tacked up right now, but everything's been done with that Flux 125 right there. It's an incredible little welder. I dearly love it. And I mean, if you're starting out and you just want something at the house, grab that thing right there. If you gotta have something for big stuff and big plate, big equipment, then absolutely, if you gotta have a stick, get that one. It's good too. So I'm gonna cut the video off. I hope this helped you. There's my 2-year review. It's actually been a year and a half, but I'm gonna put 2-year review on the video title. But it's good. I like it. I recommend it. It's a good welder. And so's that one, and so's the Reboot. I can't bash it either. So they're all good. But definitely get you an inverter style welder, not the old transformers. I mean, if someone gives you one, absolutely run it. It's free, right? But if you gotta go buy one, you're just starting out, get that and spend a little bit of money, and you can catch them on sale too. Get the auto dark helmet. Makes life easy. So I'm gonna cut the video off. Hope this helped you. Hope this helped you make a decision. Gonna cleared some of the stuff up some of my subscribers have been wanting to know about the welder, and there it is. So if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does help me, and I'm helping you, trying to help you. So help me, give me a thumbs up. And I guess that's it. You know, subscribe and hit the bell, give me the thumbs up. You get the bell, you'll know about more welding videos, more projects, and more tractors. I got a tractor video coming up where that just got out of here on the International 424. Purrs like a kitten, by the way. Good little tractor. So that video's coming. So I guess that's it for this video. So as always, like and subscribe. Catch you on next video. Bye.